So today's webinar, we're going to go over setting SMART goals. And obviously we'll go into a little bit more depth about what SMART goals are after we've gone through this. Business benchmarking, making sure that you're actually aware of what tools you've got at your hands to use, client loyalty, and using your reports basically within shortcuts to make sure you're actually, reading them correctly and making the best use of the reports that are part of your system. Cool, so SMART goals. Now, for those of you, I'm sure everyone's heard of the term SMART goals before, so just to go over them really briefly with you. So SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. So basically, what does that mean? Make sure you've got a goal that is not something that's over the top, or making sure that it's a something that it can be measurable, for instance. So making sure that you've got an actual percentage, number, or like actual view of something that you're going to achieve. And making sure, obviously, now's the time to do this. So setting your goals at the start of the year makes you not only set a challenge for yourself, but setting challenges for your staff as well. It's obviously a great time to do that. New start, new salon, new you sort of feeling. So I guess that's SMART goals. We'll go into a couple of that might be ideal or that you could use within your salon. So everybody understands like the importance of not just setting goals, but setting goals that you know that you're going to actually be able to achieve. So that way, when you do get to the end of the year, when you've set a goal, you get towards the end of halfway through the year, and you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to make this." Obviously, that realistic part of the SMART goal comes into play when you're talking about stuff like that. Okay, so let's just go over a couple of maybe some ideas of goals that you could set for yourself or for your salon and your staff members. So acquiring 20 new clients by the end of June via client referrals. So obviously that's a realistic goal. You've set yourself a number of clients that you want to be getting on board. You've set yourself a time, and it's measurable because it's something we have a report that you can do that via. Achieving new client retention of 25% and existing client retention of 75% within 3 months. Again, very realistic goals that you can measure within shortcuts because we have, again, there's a report, and we'll go over the reports towards the end. Again, it's a SMART goal. It's measurable because you've got the percentages. It's achievable because we all know that we can get to those goals if we have the right people in place. It's realistic and timely because you've got 3 months. Increase total sales by $2,000 by the end of next month. So increasing your total sales could be anything from increasing the amount of retail products that you sell. It could be encouraging your staff to upsell treatments or upsell other services that you might provide to your clients, like eyebrow waxing or tinting within the salon. Like those little things all add up to the bigger goal. So just by asking your staff or suggesting that they start doing this, obviously there could be an incentive in it for them if they do reach their, if you set a target per staff member. If you've got 4 staff, that's $500 that they would have to look at upselling within retail or services or treatments or what have you. So again, making sure that each of your goals are measurable, which then leads on to the encouraging employees to upsell and setting each member a target of selling $3,000 in products by the end of the year. So I believe that's super realistic. Selling $3,000 worth of retail by the end of the year. That's, in hindsight, that's really not a lot of money that you're asking them to add to their monthly totals already. Okay, achieving your goals. So this is now we're going to start talking about the features. of shortcuts that are going to help you achieve your goals. So business benchmarking. So benchmarking is a really cool tool. It's located within your console, um, which is your scorecard on console. So basically, that's going to allow you to assess how your salon is stacking up against the rest of the industry. So those of you who aren't familiar with your scorecard, I highly recommend going and checking it out. Just because it's going to give you an idea of where you're sitting against the industry. And I personally think it's a really cool tool to use, because a lot of salons sit back and go, "Oh my gosh, I'm having such a slum of a month," or things aren't going. Maybe I'm not selling as much retail as I think I'm wanting to sell. I could do more. You can actually have a look to see where you are, sitting against the industry, and it's going to help you to maybe not feel as, down in the dumps, or, even if you're, just a little bit behind the trend, it's going to make you feel a little bit better, or even better, even more so, if you're sitting above the industry standard. Like, how amazing would that be? When you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, I'm not doing so well," and then you jump onto Scorecard and you've got, you're sitting way above industry standard. So I think that's a really cool tool to use. Loyalty. Loyalty, obviously we want our clients to keep coming back in the door. Loyalty is a way of not only boosting your current revenue, but also keeping those clients coming back for more. So with your loyalty, it's not just about increasing revenue and keeping your clients. If they're really happy with what you're offering them, chances are they're going to tell somebody, which again leads back to your client referral, which in turn is going to lead to more money and helping you achieve those goals that you set for yourself, which is, increasing your business, increasing your revenue, but also all the while retaining your clients. So you can see how it all kind of it all circles back to each other. Each goal is relatable back to the previous one, in a sense. And reporting. Obviously, reporting is a huge part of shortcuts. This is, it's not only for making sure that your day-to-day sales are going correctly and making sure that everyone's closing off the transactions or doing your stock reports. Like, track your achievements in here. This is where you can see, like, you can tick off your goals each month. You can go, okay, sweet, I did my $3,000 this month. I did my $2,000. I said I was going to get 20 new clients. I did that. Like, those monthly reports are going to make you feel so much better about yourself, knowing that you're ticking off the smaller goals each month. And if you can tick off those small goals each month, by the end of the year, like, all the little things are all going to add up to this massive, amazing, like, sensation of knowing that you have kicked everything in your box that you wanted to tick this year. So your reporting tools are amazing, and there's an absolute bucket load of them in Shortcuts for you to use. So highly recommend and every time, I'm not sure if you're all aware, but every time you do select a specific report within Shortcuts, it does give you a little blurb on the right-hand side of what sort of information you're going to be getting from that report or seeing from that report. So if there's some reports in there that you maybe don't use already, maybe just have a click on them and see, what exactly that's going to tell you. Because it might be a report that you could turn around and go, actually, that's really cool. I'm going to start using that now. So how are you performing now? So the business benchmarking that I was just talking about, or your scorecard. So as you can see from the picture, you've got your little thumbs up for those areas that you're doing really well in. You've got the orange card, which is it's not too bad, but it could be better. And then you've got the red, which is thumbs down, which is obviously telling you that's probably an area that you need to start focusing on a little bit more. So identifying your strengths and weaknesses within not only your salon, but also your staff as well. So I guess the best part about this is all of this information is gathered from clients that are within your sort of not only industry but revenue bracket as well. So basically we kind of take all of our Shortcuts clients and clump them all together, and all of this information is completely anonymous to other people. So you can't see what Susie's salon's doing down the road or Bob's barbershop up the road is doing. you just get an industry standard. So you can see as an industry how things are going, and your competitors can't actually see what you're doing, but you can get an idea of where they're sitting at if they're with shortcuts. So I think it's a really cool, as I said, I personally love this tool just because it's a snapshot. It's a snapshot of exactly what's going on in your business. Yeah. So not only can you see a snapshot, but you can actually drill down a little bit further, and it takes you down and breaks it down into the revenue, number of clients, visits, most importantly, number of new clients and how many you're repeating, as well as online booking stats. Now, I know a lot of salons kind of get a little bit scared, for lack of better wording, about online booking and how it kind of takes away the interaction with their clients. Online booking is such a great tool, which we're not going to go too much into today. But within this scorecard, you can actually keep track of exactly how much revenue you're introducing into the business just by having online booking available to your clients. So again, another cool tool that's right at your hands. Maybe you didn't know that you had access to, or maybe now you're actually going to go check it out and have a little bit more of an in-depth look at. I know personally, unless someone actually points something out to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like a really cool feature, but do I need it? Probably not. But now I highly recommend going and checking it out. Go check it out monthly, weekly, just to see how things are going. So just to reiterate, all that information gathered is from Shortcuts customers within Australia or New Zealand, depending on where you're based, and it's all anonymous. Like we couldn't tell you exactly what your competitors are doing down the road. So scorecard. This is a bit of a screenshot. So you can have a look. Another cool little tidbit, I guess. If you log into your scorecard and you do see this stormy lightning background, it's kind of gimmicky, I know, but I think it's pretty cool. It just means that things probably aren't as good as they could be within your business right now. But if you've got all thumbs up happening up on that top screen, you're going to see nice sunshine and clouds in the background, and you know that you're in for a good day. So again, it's gimmicky, but again, it's just like a snapshot. So yeah, seeing how others are performing. Like I said before, it's encouraging to see, this, the grey line that you can see is your industry standard line. And your figures, the ones in the red is your current, and the yellow is last year. So you can see from, again, basing on this year, last year, plus industry standards for your total revenue. So again, a lot of people sit back and go, oh my gosh, I did such a terrible month. I had such a terrible quarter. What can I do to improve it? Here's the place where you can go to see where you might be lapsing. So, you might be doing all these fantastic services and you've got this, you've got a lot of returning clients, but maybe your retail services aren't as high as what you want them to be. In which case, then you can have a chat with your staff, have a chat with your product suppliers and see if maybe they would be interested in doing some sort of promotion with you, or coming in and doing some education. So the industry standard, Kimberly, the industry standard, we base you into the industry standard. So the industry standard for this one is Beauty Australia, but there's also Hair Australia, Hair New Zealand, there's barbershops. So every industry kind of has its own category that the salon gets put into. So if you're a barbershop, you'll get put into Barber Australia, depending on, or Barber New Zealand, whichever country you're in. So, but you can actually have a look. So on where it says Beauty Australia, you can actually drop down and you can have a look to see, maybe, I don't know, you might be interested to see what the New Zealand industry is like. So you can actually have a look to see where it sits against the New Zealand industry as well. But the standard would be, if you're a beauty salon, you would go into Beauty Australia. I hope that answers your question? Okay, loyalty. So loyalty obviously is a works on a point system. Works on points. So you can set it up how you want loyalty to be set up. So it's fully customizable. So if you wanted to have it as $1 equals 1 point, or $10 equals 1 point, it's up to you how you set that up. You can have tiers within your loyalty. So you can have, silver, bronze, gold, platinum, or, diamond, ruby. I don't know, however you want to set it up. You might have names already. But by having loyalty program, it encourages your clients to spend more money, because if they know they're going to get something out of it, like a free haircut, or you might have a free treatment when they've got enough points up, it's encouraging to know that the more money you spend with a specific salon or a specific beauty clinic or spa, my year's worth of massages could get me a free massage right at the end of the year, is when we all need a massage, around that Christmas crazy time. So the cool thing about loyalty is that your clients will actually get email notifications that's going to show them their actual points balance. So if you wanted to ensure that your clients are in the right tier, or if you want to try and encourage them to spend a little bit more money, you can push them. So, they might be sitting in that bronze tier or really close to the silver. And as an encouragement, you might be able to send off an email to them and just say, hey, you're so close to getting into that silver range. It's just going to take you maybe, one more haircut or one more visit to the salon next month, and you're going to be part of the silver club, which is going to entitle you to X, Y, Z. So that the points earned, they might only have to spend $5 to earn 1 point instead of 10. So, encouraging them to keep coming back and keep spending money, which is obviously what we want. We want loyal customers, but we also want happy customers. A happy customer is obviously going to spread the word about how amazing your salon is and about this amazing loyalty program that they've introduced, and I can get so much out of it just by going and getting my haircut. Or you might even have like a referral program linked into your loyalty. So it's up to you how you want it set up. So it's totally personalizable. And you can get cards made up with their barcode. So just come in and they scan their barcode, just like, I don't know, like your Maya One or Flybuys or Woolworths rewards card. Every time they scan it, they just earn their points, which again takes it back to, the reward those who are loyal to you. It's your success. Okay, so basically we're going to go into the reporting side of things now, and what sort of reports you can use to track those goals that we suggested earlier in the slide. So I'm going to show you some of the reports that you can use to make sure that you are keeping on track with your SMART goals. Okay, so the client referral. So there is a report within Shortcuts, which is your client referral report. Again, I'm not sure if many of you use this or promote this within your salon, but here's how you can track it. So the goal was to acquire 20 new clients by the end of June through client referrals. So with this report, I can see the client is your current client in bold, and the names underneath them are the people that have been referred to your salon or your business via Melanie. So you can see Melanie has referred 2 people, and Vanessa's also referred 2 people, and everyone else has referred 1 client. So with this report, you can keep track of that. Did I actually get 20 referrals within, by the end of June? And you can select the date range. So if you wanted to maybe try and keep on top of this a little bit more, rather than waiting to say May and go, oh my gosh, I'm nowhere near my goal, do it monthly. Check this report out monthly and encourage referrals. Maybe, again, giving the referee something for giving you a referral. So it might even be a $10 off their next visit, or a free treatment on their next visit. Something that's going to add value to them actually wanting to come back and wanting to bring one of their family or friends into your salon. Client retention. Obviously, this is a huge part of every salon, every business, is making sure that the clients that you've spent so much time working on making sure that they're happy and you love seeing them every 5 to 6 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on what services they're getting done. You obviously don't want to lose these clients. They become like your family and friends. You probably see them more than sometimes of your family and friends, because they're the ones that keep coming back. So within this report, this is your client retention report within Shortcuts. So there's an option for you to actually select whether or not you just want to see the number of like the actual new clients, or you want to actually see like your whole salon or business as a whole to see exactly how many clients you've retained over a business period. So this report is only looking at a month. And again, this is a dummy business. So 94% retention would be amazing if we could retain 94% of our entire client base throughout a whole period of time. But again, with this report, you can actually get a gauge on maybe, you might have a staff member or a stylist who's really great and has, does have that 100% client retention rate. Maybe if you've got someone who doesn't have such a high retention, maybe get them to, sit down with those people, those other staff members, and just say, hey, this is what I do with my clients to keep coming back. This is what this is how I treat them, or this is what I say. It might be like little mannerisms or something, or maybe maybe that person was just having a bad day, and that's the reason why they didn't come back. So there's all different ways to work with client retention. Obviously, ensuring that you're rebooking your clients when they're in salon is the most obvious way of keeping them retained, as well as keeping them up to date with what's happening in your salon. So posting stuff on Facebook to keep them interactive. So increasing my total, so back to our goals that we set earlier, increasing my total sales by $2,000 by the end of next month. So I can see from this report, sales by month trend. So this is looking at all of my sales as a whole across the business. So you can see your trends that are happening here. So obviously we hit that goal of increasing our sales. So this is the report that you want to be looking at, especially when you're having those, like I said before, like your those slower months, or the months that aren't, you don't feel like you're doing as much. This is like where you can have a look and see whether or not you are actually having a massive slump or not. So it's basically just a graph summarizing exactly what you've made. So it's not going to go into too much detail from this graph. It's just going to show you, your ebbs and flows of the business. The upselling goal. This one I think is something that is easily achievable, and something that is obviously easily be trackable from this report. So from this report, your products by employee within Shortcuts, my goal was to encourage employees to upsell and set them a target of $3,000 in products by the end of the year. So achievable, right? Like $3,000 by the end of the year. So I can actually see down the bottom of my report each staff member and how much money they actually, they did sell in products. And it's going to break it down into actual products. If you wanted to delve further into it, so this is just your products. If you wanted to delve further, so maybe you included the upselling was services, you can actually run a services report as well to see the same sort of information based on your employees' services. So you can keep track of that $3,000, because you haven't said to them you want $3,000 just in retail products. You said, I just want you to upsell $3,000. So the $3,000, as I said, could be treatments, could be an extra service. So they might have just come in for a cut and they ended up leaving with a half head of foils and other services and full home hair care product range, because you had the time on that day to do all that services. But because your staff members are upselling everything possible, because if you're going to ask them to upsell this much money, you'd probably have some sort of incentive plan or a monthly incentive for them to hit this goal. Promotions, 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 promotions. This is really important. And now's the time, right? Now's the time to sit down and work out what you want to be doing for the rest of this year. What sort of promotions do you want to be doing in salon that you're going to push out to the masses, push out to your clients to get them amped up and wanting to be coming back. So sit down with your calendar, look at all the different holidays that are coming up throughout the year, and mark out what sort of promotions you could possibly do around that. So obviously our next big day is Valentine's Day. And then you've got Easter and Mother's Day and whatever else falls after that. I'm not 100% certain. But now's the time. Sit down, go through, and maybe get some feedback from your clients when they're in salon. Just say, hey, I'm thinking about doing some new promotions this year. Is there something that you would personally like to see as a promotion, or is there something that would encourage you to share it with your friends, or is there anything that your friends or family would love to see? So just little things about involving your clients, because if then they see a promotion that they've suggested, they're probably more likely to actually refer it on to family and friends. Your promotions can be set up now within Gcast as well. So you can set everything up now and set your send dates and everything for when you want your promotions to be going live. I think this is the end. So hopefully you got something out of today and got a better idea got an understanding of what a SMART goal is and how you go about setting yourself SMART goals, but then also the tools that you can use to make sure that you're kicking those goals that you're setting. Within your business benchmarking to see how you're going against the industry, setting up your loyalty for your customers, and using those reports that are already within shortcuts that you probably didn't know existed to track your success. So if you wanted to rewatch this webinar, or you wanted to check out some other webinars that we have, this is the website that this is the link you need to go to. And if you haven't already, go check out our website. We've just launched a new one, which I think is actually pretty cool. Cool. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for today, guys. Thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. I understand how busy you all are. So thank you very much, and look forward to talking to you all soon.